Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we're talking love and marriage, Huntsville. Y'all know why y'all here. Anything I say is alleged in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description. So today, some housekeeping items. We are free. It's free, you guys. Free to follow me on this platform, Anonymous Tea, on my other platform, Anonymous Tea Podcast, on my TikTok for 74 more days, Anonymous Tea Podcast, on the Instagrammies. And I'm getting to your guys' DMs in a moment. I've got a couple more things to do here. Anonymous Reality Tea. And it is free to comment, free to repost, free to share. So we got to talk love and marriage, Huntsville. We got to talk Carlos King's obsession with MEL and TEL. Y'all can talk until you guys are blue in the face about MEL needs to leave the show, MARTELL needs to leave the show, If they do X, Y, and Z, But here is the thing. Like I always say, it starts at the top. Carlos King, like much of the cast, is stuck on MEL and TEL. He is mentally still stuck on MEL and TEL, whether they're getting along, whether they're arguing, because why is Owen uploading today, you guys? An episode of Carlos King's Reality with the King. We know the first episode, he had Letitia Pearson on from the Bell Collective. We know this last episode, he had Lisa Raye on. So I presume the show's an hour, correct? Or at least a half hour. I know y'all talked about other things. I know y'all talked about dating and relationships. Y'all talked about Ready to Love. I know you, Carlos, because you like to brag on yourself, wanted to discuss all of your other shows that you've got on OWN. So I'm sure y'all talked Love and Marriage DC. I'm sure you talked Love and Marriage Detroit. I'm sure you talked Bell Collective. But when you get to Love and Marriage Huntsville, instead of talking about, I don't know, anything that's currently going on the show, even if you showed something of the girls' trip, would have been a nice segue, considering Lisa Raye, she was on a show, Single Ladies, about getting along with women. She was on the talk show when Fox Soul was a thing with Vivica Fox, Claudia Jordan, and Selena Johnson, and talking about the dynamics of being around different women, different personalities, and how to get along. That would have been the perfect clip to, have a discussion about and tie that into Lisa Raye's, not just on her career, but outside of her career, how that dynamic works with different girlfriends, with her being in Black Hollywood. That would have made sense. But what does Carlos King do? Goes back to a flashback scene, and this is all because Mel had Lisa Raye recently on her TikTok live. That's all this was. Carlos King wanted to pull Lisa Raye back in hopes that Lisa Raye was going to come on his platform, come back to his platform, and bash Mel. But I'm glad Lisa Raye did not take the bait, did not fall for the foolishness. So he has this game called Red Flag, Green Flag, and White Flag, I surrender, right? Green flag, go, red, stop, whatever. And they play the flashback clip where, Mel, she had the Mel Swoop hairdo in the earlier seasons, of course. And this is when she is telling Martell, it's in the scene in the bedroom, and she's folding up the clothes and everything else in the suitcase, and she's throwing clothes at Martell, and she's like, listen, looky here, I am done. I am tired of the nonsense. I'm tired of the BS. You gotta go. You gotta get up on out of here. You keep cheating. You keep lying. And then it's a Martell, well, but I do this. Or what about the time I got you flowers? What about the time I did this? And Mel's like, that's great, but what have you done for me lately? Shout out to Janet Jackson. You're doing all this lying. You're still trying to keep the concubine. You're still trying to keep Grand Central Station. You're still trying to keep the choo-choo train in the mix while you're doing all this foolishness. And so then it gets heated, it gets escalated and everything else. And then I guess in a moment, Mel says that,
Martell is a good father and all this and that, and it keeps panning back to Carlos King and Lisa Ray's reactions, and it's like, what are we doing? Why are you still stuck on Mel and TEL as a duo, whether they're together or not? It is very mentally stunting, right? It is giving that you have held yourself back from several grades in school and you are just going to be stuck in second grade forever. You are just going to stay in second grade forever. You are never going to get out of elementary school. Make it make sense. So Carlos is trying to be messy, asking whether or not Martell had been in Lisa Ray's DMs. She's like, I plead the fifth. He's trying to ask Lisa Ray how it goes with Messy Mary Man. I saw how he played it, but he was trying to make it seem like it was in general, because there were alleged rumors of Lisa Ray and Gary Payton, who was married at the time, who was a former NBA player, you guys. And it's just like, is this what we're doing? So basically, in the answer, it kind of sounded like what most side chicks say, which is, you don't know that they're initially married, and then by the time you do find out they're married, they still lie or try to downplay, their marriage, that they're not together all the time, or that they're getting a divorce, or that they're separated because you're with them all the time, and this and that. And then once you catch feelings, you're in too deep to do anything. But my thing is this, at some point, you find out that they're unavailable. But you make this decision and thinking at some point, because you're putting on all this time, that there's going to be something worth your time. But I don't understand Lisa Ray's angle and all this, considering your own ex-husband was out here in these streets cheating away. But my thing is this, Carlos King, you gotta let it go. And then at the end of the clip, regardless of the flagjaw flying, it still ends up, unfortunately, as we know, they're no longer together, but they both have moved on and they're living happily ever after separately. What are we talking about? Who's living happily ever after separately? So if you're saying allegedly, are you alleging that Mel has moved on and she's happily ever after separately? Why is that not on the show? And if Martell is allegedly living happily ever after separately, why does he have an out of control concubine that apparently has all the time in the world to talk to her blogger? Every single blogger has all the time in the world to complain about Martell, complain about Mel, complain about this, complain about that. If Martell is moved on and happy, why are there all these motions and all these allegations of all this back and forth to court? Why did he appeal his own conviction where there was going to be 0 jail time? Because he couldn't handle the fact of not being able to contact Mel for a year. It was too much for him, right? So please tell me, what happily ever after are you aware of, Carlos King? Because there's no happily ever after that is airing or to be aired on the show. Can you make it make sense? Can you make it make sense to me? But this is what I'm talking about, y'all. This is what I'm talking about as far as the mentally stunted, place that this show is in. This show, Carlos King sees it as a one-track mind. He sees Mel and TEL, together or not, as the anchor of the show. And I believe Martell, when he sent that, that big old complaint to Carlos about calling them actors, that he said that him and Mel need to take back the show. He cannot see the show beyond anything else. That is why he is trying so hard to make these other cast members happen. Because he knows that even what doesn't matter what the drama is or the storyline, they're not going to bring it like Mel and TEL. And that's just the bottom line. It doesn't matter how many fan pages and blogs you create to try to make fetch happen. It doesn't matter how many times you try to copy Mel's blueprint, whether it is acting, whether it is a masterclass, whether it is a hair care line, or whether it is singing, or whether it is coming out with merch, or wearing merch every day in different colors. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It is about who you are as a person. And this entire cast has shown that they do not give a crap about nobody. And that they are willing to watch Revenge P and sit on it for a couple of years until an arrest happens, y'all. And they are willing to sit here and entertain somebody's mistress of a so-called friend of theirs, right? And completely ignore the wife in the situation, but want to get on camera and immediately throw shade. The 4th episode in, I think it was episode 4 or 5, throwing a 10-year anniversary party and asking questions about cheating. Y'all want to say Mel and TEL put their business out there, but who was throwing the shots first? And whose family was on YouTube first? Let's talk about that. Let's start there. So you can't get mad at the response when you are engineering all of the chaos. But Carlos King, you need to move on from Mel and TEL. So there's that. Let me know y'all thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.